Roll.
I'm Stephanie with SAYF Yoga. We're going to talk a little bit about how we can modify a practice for knees. So, knees can become really strong and resilient if we slowly progress into more range of motion as we get stronger. So with a pose like Malasana or a wide squat, a primal squat, we want to make sure that as we're going up and down through our squat, that our knees are going where we intend them to go. So for right now, we're going to intend them to align with the knees, hip knee toe alignment. And so she's doing that really well through her comfortable range of motion. If she was building strength in her knees, if her knees weren't as strong as they are, she would do less range of motion. So go ahead and come up and down a few times, Nicole. And then keep noticing your hip knee toe alignment. That's good. And now maybe do a little less range of motion. Good. Okay. The other thing that we want to look at with the knees is what's happening with the feet. So you can keep moving. If the knees are aligned well with the toes, and if the pelvis is aligned well and the spine is aligned well, then the feet will be balanced. We won't see the feet rolling out or in, and we'll be able to see how the knees are aligning with the feet. So she's good there. So now go ahead and come into a lunge. So in lunge, a lot of people will talk about feeling pain in either the front knee or the back knee. So this would be a more typical wide lower lunge. So we're going to have Nicole bring her back foot forward, wider, and more forward to give her a wider base of support so that her knees experience a little less load. And then she's going to make sure that her weight is equal between both feet. Excellent. From here, for a lot of people, and especially women, this front knee in a lunge will start to cave in based on the Q ankle. So in order to help her align her knee well, we're going to have her rotate in a high twisty lunge. You're going to rotate that way. And for a lot of knees, that'll just bring the knee right in line. And it's a good practice to help track the knee in a good way into alignment. Finally, knees can be a challenge when we put weight on the knees in kneeling poses. So a blanket can be a great option if your knee pain is coming from pressure on the knees, using a blanket in poses like child's pose or cat-cow, or any pose where you have pressure on the knees. The other thing, especially for people who have had an ACL repaired, knee flexion this deep is really challenging. So we can modify in a variety of ways. We could put a blanket underneath the knees, behind the knees. We could put a bolster underneath the body. And then if this is still too much flexion for the knees, we could come into more of a downward facing puppy. So really a lot less flexion. So go ahead and bring your hips over your knees and your arms forward. So depending on where she is in progressing in her healing, that this may be enough flexion for her without pain or not. She may have to even do less. She may even have to come more forward with her hips. So those are just a few examples of how we can modify a practice to help keep our knees safe.